Hello, happy you're here. Welcome back to my decluttering vlog series where I slowly but sustainably go through my house and life to declutter the things that are no longer serving a purpose. I did some impromptu surprise decluttering this morning. I had to dip through my playlists on Spotify because one of the artists I've been listening to, I had looked up and listened to a song on YouTube, and I'm like, this actually feels a little fishy to me. So this morning I went through a bunch of new artists that I've been listening to that I've added to workout playlists, and it turns out that they are AI. So I've had to go through my Spotify playlists and declutter all of the AI artists off of my playlists, and I am so mad. I'm so mad. I had built a new playlist this year and I called it 2026 Workout Rage or something, and I'm filled with more rage. I've had to cut, and I'm not even joking, I had to cut something like 6 artists off of the playlist, and there was maybe 11 artists on there. So as you can assume, I'm having a bit of a rough emotional time with that, but that just reminds me to be a bit more diligent when a new song or artist comes across my radar, to really look into them before I get too attached, because I have had these AI songs stuck in my head for weeks now. And if there was a way that wasn't depleting water sources, and there was a way to use your own poetry, your own instrumentals, to then integrate AI into formatting it and laying it out for you, I would have less of an issue. But there's no way that these AI databases are taking your poetry and then making something completely unique. It can't. It can't do that. Hello, what's up? Got all the animals in here with me. And you!
You're an animal too.
I'm an animal too? Oh my gosh. So that's been my morning, and I'm annoyed by some of the people using AI, these AI generated songs. They'll say in the quote-unquote artist bio, I am bad at music and bad at instruments and bad at singing, but I love to write poetry. Okay, great. Write poetry. That is your art then. Find a musician and try to work with them to integrate your poetry into writing a song. You don't need to do this, babe. We don't need to do this. So that's been my impromptu decluttering, but we do have more things to do. So let's change out this battery and get on that. All right, everybody out of the office. Everybody out. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get you get. I was going over my list of the things that I can do today to declutter, and I was leaning towards doing the kids' toys that are upstairs and then maybe pairing that with going through the basement stuff again to get ready for a Goodwill trip. But since my kids are on February vacation, my mom is actually going to take my kids in a few days overnight, so I think it will be better if I do the kids' toys then. So that will be a little bit later, but now I need to try to figure out what to do in the meantime. Stuff that I can do while my kids are around, and I'm thinking that I go to work on some stuff in my own closet. I don't really think that there's any clothes that need doing right now. I don't really feel like my clothes need addressing right now. I feel like I did a lot of decluttering of that last June when I did the last decluttering series, but when I did that last decluttering series, oh come on Mala, before I lock her in my office, I realized that to do my closet, which is in here, there were a lot more spaces. It couldn't just be closet as a whole. That was too broad, and I couldn't finish things in a day when I had it organized that way. So now a space that I had started last time and then just kind of left was this side right here of my closet. Everything on the floor. So this is my luggage. Nothing lives in here, or else I would forget it exists. My luggage. These 2 totes are the kids' school things that I decide to keep. I know that everything in here has already been gone through. This section is fine. This section, however, needs a little addressing. We've got my softball bag, which softball season is coming up. It needs to be gone through and cleared out before the start of a new season. And then we've got the kids' clothes that I pulled out of their closet earlier in this declutter series that needs going through. Stuff in this box needs going through. This bag has already been designated as donate. So what does that mean for me? It means this bag needs going through. It means this bag is already designated as decluttered, but now it needs slotting into the right spot. Are we donating it? Are we throwing it out / using it for fabric scraps and projects like that? So I'm not going to pass along a whole bunch of mismatched socks or stained kid items. I have these empty buckets. Lots of empty buckets, which, you know what? Some of these can go downstairs, because when we were doing the laundry last week, I said I wanted some buckets to start collecting things that belonged to household members, stuff that gets stuck in their pockets. I think this will be a good start to that. So we'll put those aside and we'll take those down to the basement later. These buckets I am just gonna keep. I don't have anything for these yet, but I guarantee I will. Maybe they shouldn't live down here. Maybe there's a higher shelf I can keep them on, but for now I'm just gonna put them there. These I went through last time. This, did I go through this? This is a whole lot of paperwork and junk and miscellaneous stuff that needs deciding on. This is Everest. This is a doom box, but at least it is a categorized doom box. This is all softball and coaching stuff in here. Anything that's been emptied out of past coaching bags that I didn't know what to do with, stuff like that. So this needs to be set aside and gone through at a different time. So that's why it was up there, because these are other buckets I went through last June. It's not a very aesthetic storage solution, but it does contain stuff, so that is a plus. This is a donate bag. I can go through this and go into that, and then take this whole bag out and bring that down to the basement. Okay. I don't think there's a single matching sock in this bag. That's all that's left in here, so we'll take that down to the craft room, craft space. What I would like to do with these clothes socks that don't have matches, stained kid clothes, is I would like to mulch them basically and upcycle them and use them for other things, like either cut them finely and use them as stuffing, stuff like that. Or if I get my act together and if I know for a fact like I'm not going to do these things, get one of those mailers and send it to a company that does upcycle clothing. Because there are companies, I don't know the names of any of the companies or which ones are reputable, but there are places that you can send old fabric and old clothes to be recycled and upcycled, and they go through and they process it all to make new things so it doesn't end in a landfill, which is my hope for a lot of these clothes, like that they're good enough to pass on, someone can use them, or they get upcycled and not desecrating other countries with our pollution. Anyway, is for the basement. The last thing I'm going to do right now is go through my coaching bag. Feel good about that decluttering. I moved stuff down to the basement. I solved a problem from an earlier video. Do I still have a big box of paperwork? Yes, I do. I feel like I could make an entire decluttering series, maybe not like a whole 28 days, but maybe like a week, 2 weeks worth of decluttering content days based solely around paperwork. Or just doom boxes. Right now I'm kind of treating spaces as like doom spaces, but let me know if you want a mini declutter series about doom boxes, because I think I could probably do that. Only if you need the motivation to do your own, and we'll figure it out together. But the paperwork has piled up in many different places, and that diaper box is clearly one of them. But I do think I'm gonna finish this video up here. I feel like we've done enough. And I am about to go do basketball. It is our last basketball day. I've been helping coach the littles this time around, and that's also one of my big things for 2026 is I want to do more community things. I'm going to more library events and I want to get more involved with my community, especially through the school and stuff where it pertains to my kids. So this has been my little step into that. Not that obviously I coach, but I want to do more. I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.